Hey, Pastor Josh here, reading Genesis chapter 24, verses 28 through 41. We are continuing the Rebekah saga as Abraham's servant goes to receive and get a bride for Isaac. And the Lord has definitely prospered this servant's path. He has met Rebekah, and now he is being introduced to the entire family. And he actually takes some time to restate everything we've already heard and know. And so for ancient writers, this is a big deal because they're emphasizing this, especially when they're repeating the same material over again. This time it's the servant giving a narrative of what has happened before we were told what is happening. I think I told you here, if I not told you somewhere else, is that this is the longest. This is the longest vignette. This is the longest story in Genesis up to this point. And so this is drawing our attention here. This is a big deal. God is being faithful to his promise. He's giving a bride to the promised son. He is not going to let the seed not come about. He's going to be faithful to Isaac. He's going to be faithful to Abraham. And he is going to continue the promise that ultimately he made to Eve. He said that there would come a seed from her. There would come a person that would crush the head of the serpent. And this is here, following through that, following the line. Ultimately, we come to Jesus at the end. So then the young woman ran. This is Rebekah, ran and told her mother's household about these things. Everybody is running. The servant's running. Rebekah's running. Everybody's running. She runs and tells her mother's household about these things, what had happened. And Rebekah had a brother whose name was Laban, who actually will be very important, a very key character later on when Rebekah's son comes back to the area to live. When Jacob comes and lives, him and Laban have a lot of a conflict, and actually Jacob will end up marrying Laban's daughters, even though he thought it was just going to be one daughter. And we'll get to that when we get there. But Laban ran out. Again, he's running as well. Ran out toward the man to the spring. As soon as he saw the ring and the bracelet on his sister's arms and heard the words of Rebekah his sister, thus the man spoke to me, he went to the man. Now, here's the thing, is that I want to point out that he saw the ring and he saw the bracelets. He saw the wealth of this servant and of Abraham and the place that he's come from. And what we will find out is that Laban actually turns out to be a pretty greedy person. And so this is already giving us the character of Laban. He's responding. He's excited, not because he's hospitable, because he saw the wealth that is there. Whereas that's in contrast to Rebekah, who probably would have realized that this man is wealthy because he had 10 camels. But not to the extent that Laban has. The emphasis on Rebekah is that she's a servant and willing to work to water all of these camels. Where Laban is seeing, okay, there's money, he's got something, he wants to marry my sister. This could be very good for us. And so, and behold, he was standing by the camels at the spring, and he said, "Come in, O blessed of the Lord." So this is important. This is the divine name. This is Yahweh that's behind it. Anytime you have capital L, capital O, capital R, capital D, you know that the Hebrew behind that is Yahweh or Jehovah. And so this is God's name. I am who I am. And this is important because that means that Rachel, and that means Rebekah, and that means that the family that Abraham had left from Haran, that means they had actually continued worshiping the Lord or being aware of the Lord. Now, Rachel, Laban's daughter, the one that Jacob will marry later. I'm probably going to confuse everybody, but she will actually have idols that she will be bringing with her as she marries Jacob. So there's probably some mixing of religion here, but at least at this point, Laban is recognized that he knows the name of Yahweh, he knows the name of Jehovah, and he is using that name as he engages with Abraham's servant. One of the main reasons that Abraham did not want Isaac to marry one of the Canaanites is he wanted Isaac to marry somebody that had faith in God, the one and true God. So that's why he's here, and that's why Rebekah ends up marrying Isaac. Why do you stand outside? He said, I've prepared the house and a place for the camels. So the man came to the house and unharnessed the camels and gave straw and fodder to the camels. And there was water to wash his feet and the feet of the men who were with him. A good example to follow. He's taking care. This is a lot of hospitality given to the servant of Abraham. They're caring and washing and taking care of them. Then food was set before him to eat, but he said, No, I will not speak until I have said what I have to say. I got something to speak. I need to speak it. So Laban said, Speak on. And he said, I am Abraham's servant. The Lord has greatly blessed my master. That's an attitude we need to adopt in our mindset, is that everything good that we have is a gift from the Lord. It is not something that we have done on our own accounts, even though it may have been particular actions, particular decisions that has led to whatever blessing that we are experiencing. But at the end of the day, it comes from the Lord. We would not be able to do what we do without him. We would not have the brain to think without him. We would not have the strength to do without him. So it is the Lord that gives us everything good that we have, a good attitude for us to adopt. It says, Abraham's become great. He has given him flocks and herds, silver and gold, male servants and female servants, camels and donkeys. And Sarah, my master's wife, bore a son to my master when she was old. And to him he was given all that he has. So remember, this is family. So they're getting caught up on what has happened to Abraham since he's left. He says, My master made me swear, saying, You shall not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites, in whose land I dwell, but you shall go to my father's house and to my clan and take a wife for my son. I said to my pastor, Perhaps the woman will not follow me. Again, these are things we've heard before. But he said to me, The Lord before whom I have walked will send his angel with you to prosper your way. And we're seeing that the promise is coming to pass. The angel really did go before him and really did prosper his way. It says, You shall take a wife for my son, from my clan, and from my father's house. Then you will be free from my oath when you come to my clan. And if they will not give her to you, you will be free from my oath. Pray that's been a blessing to you. I'll see you in the next video.